Are you a young person looking for work? Do you know somebody who is? We might have the perfect thing for you, because the Shropshire Youth Support Trust is a youth charity that runs enterprise centres for disadvantaged young people in the county. It's a hub to help young unemployed people in the area have the opportunity to utilise their talents and potential so they can run a profitable and viable business. Richard Nuttall is the chief executive and joins me this morning. Richard, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Now, remind us what you are, what you do.
Yeah, sure. So we're a charity based, covering the whole of Shropshire, based in Telford Town Centre, and we support young people between the age of 16 to 30 who face disadvantage in life and may have one or multiple barriers to employment, and we help them to either explore. Well, first of all, help them to explore their own ideas and passions, see how we can support them into creating their own job or finding work that may follow that passion and therefore see value in themselves and motivation to move forward.
What sort of barriers are we talking about?
A big one at the moment is mental health. A lot of young people we work with, and it's increasing, or has been increasing, is things like social anxiety. As some won't leave a place that they feel is safe, so won't go out. So we've been supporting people in that way, helping encourage them to come out and come over to us, and then starting to engage with others as well, which has been great. Other barriers are things like substance and alcohol abuse, history of offending, neurodiversity, so people who have a diagnosis of things of autism, Asperger's, and there's lots of other barriers as well.
Which means, I guess, you must have to work with a lot of different partners as well. You know, something like alcohol misuse is a complicated thing to tackle, and if you're going to help people back into work, you know, you can almost do that side of it, but it's quite a complicated web of services that have to be involved.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we do work with a lot of partners who all specialise in addressing those barriers directly, and where we come in is obviously we're able to what we've sort of realised, reflecting upon what we do over the years, is that we're very good at engaging young people and enabling them to be able to talk and to open up, and that's obviously helped us to identify additional support that's needed, and then obviously we signpost them to the relevant organisations. But what we also do is make sure that we are still in touch with them. And we're flexible in terms of our approach of our support, so we adapt it to the flexibility of the needs of the individual. So if somebody needs more support, i.e. addressing the barrier directly, for example, substance abuse or mental health, we can reduce the amount of in-depth work that we do with them and reduce it to light touch, but they still know that we're still here. Which we found is a very key thing, a very key way to work with. In
terms of the overall idea, it's quite an interesting way to approach it, in that if you've got people who may not thrive, I guess, in rigid employment, in, you know, somewhere where there's an awful lot of, I guess, rules and an awful lot of conventions to follow, and may not find that desirable and may not be desirable themselves to people who run those businesses. The idea that, actually, why don't you just set up your own and then you can control what you do and when you do it, is both obvious but also, I guess, quite unusual.
Yes, for a lot of people, when you say that we're going to help you create your own business, it's very daunting prospect, and it puts a lot of people off, even people who don't seem to have any perceived barriers. So obviously the support we offer them is up to 2 years, so it allows us to enable them to get set up with obviously quite a lot of in-depth support, but then additional time to enable them to make it sustainable or help them to feel that they're fully in control of it. And it's great, particularly people with barriers, and depending on those barriers, is they can make it fit in and around how they need to manage those barriers that they are having to deal with. So it is a good way for them to be able to generate an income, and particularly as well if it's something that they've identified as being passionate about, because that in itself quite an achievement to be doing something that you're doing and being paid for, but it's something that you love. What
successes have you had?
Oh God, quite a lot. I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head. So we've worked with businesses who've set up community interest companies supporting others. We've had some that have set up. We had one that's based in Lawley, in Telford, that does nutritional fast food, called Life Bar. We've helped a couple of individuals set up zero waste shops. We've got people set up graphic design companies, videographers, artists.
I mean, anything and everything.
Yeah, we've had a lot of creatives, and people have set up cleaning companies. It goes on and on and on.
What are the age limits, and how do people get in touch with you? Because the support can be absolutely invaluable, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So aged between 16 to 30, and best ways to get in touch with us is through our website, which is www.systbusiness, that's systbusiness.co.uk, or systbusiness. Find us on most of the social media channels, that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We've got a TikTok channel. And phone number is 01952 299 214.
Richard, really appreciate you coming on and talking about it.
Thank you very much, Mark.